Just a little kind of sounds like you're speaking on a one speaker only kind of monotone. Interesting kind of situation. But with that, it's like you had a query about anomalous radiation, correct?
I just like nod up and down since I can't talk back.
The anomalous radiation. Give me an intelligence check.
Sure.
Let's see what words you pull out of this.
Oh my
Sweet
god,
thing.
decent roll for once.
Anomalous radiation is any sort of particle that is given off or lack thereof, given off by an object deemed an anomalous object. It has various effects on biological forms, but for the most part you can consider it akin to normal radiation. Stay away from it at all costs. It causes mutation, death, and sometimes worse. That's what you get, unless you want to ask more questions.
Let's see. So I'd think based on that I got the radiation from something else. Okay. So my second question is going to be, let me look at this thing again. What happens, or how long does it take for the head to grow back if I were to chop off the head off my gut hook?
A few minutes go by. The troll gut hook given to, new member. You must be the new member. Congratulations. If the head, it was my belief. You got a head on your gut rope? It's usually just intestine. I'm not sure there's supposed to be a head. But it should, if you cut anything off past the 50-foot mark, it should grow back rather rapidly. Anything below that should take about a week.
Okay. And that's all my questions for now.
Okay. You put the library card down. You can see there are 2 check marks on it. It looks like it keeps track of how many questions you've asked.
Don't go more than 3, guys. Read that part.
Oh, I read it. That's why I was like, oh no.
What, you don't want to hear the things that the librarian has?
No, I don't want to listen to God questions that fucking make my head explode. It's gonna be one of the fucking Ashborn just like having their tongue wiggle in my hair.
Oh God, what? All right. Well, with that, unless anybody has anything else for the evening.
I do have one more question for it. What is the Council of 6?
Damn it. The Council of 6?
Or a 5. Yeah, 5.
This one takes about 5 minutes to come back. As I open up a document somewhere in my deep, deep folders.
I love when you have to go into those deep folders.
The deepest of folders, where all the hot lore is.
Where all the deep lore is.
God damn you, you son of a bitch!
More right now. Kramer's on.
I hate you both. Oh my God! All right. So.
I lost my fucking camera again. God damn it.
You get a reply back that's not incredibly long. It says, the Council of 5 is a council of the older elder creatures, one of each name. The Medusa of lore, the Dragon of lore, the Aboleth of lore, Norn of lore, and the Jinn. Little is known about them, except for their origins. They were, and still are, protectors of this realm via the old ways. Some of them are protectors of the physical realm, some the spiritual, but for the most part they are ancient beings blessed by the goddess Kethra herself. All of them are the penultimate of their species, as not many are left. The Council of 5, not everyone is known, but few notable figures are. And that's where it ends.
Does the goddess of Kethra ring a bell?
You're not.
Does
Give
the
me a
current
religion check.
Does it? Yeah, because does the current religion worship Kethra?
Give me a religion check.
Bam.
You're not 100% certain. You don't know. You've never really been a church-going person. For the most part, you hear them talk about light, not a goddess.
Alright, that's all my questions for the day.
Sure, you don't want to go deeper? Get that
Yeah,
sweet, juicy lore?
I'm positive.
Okay.
I have something to do that evening.
Okay, what is it?
I'm gonna go to Ox's room and just knock on the door.
There's a knock on your door, Ox.
I won't open my door, but I'll be like, what is it?
Just say it through the door. You got a minute to talk?
Yeah, give me a minute, I'm naked. I will.
I'm not surprised the guy that wears a suit all day is naked all day when he's not.
So I was going to attempt to kind of, you know, remove everything, or at least put away everything that I am now starting to keep out at night. But obviously I just...
You hear a
smashed the door
clattering
with a
from
tiny
the
door.
other side of the door, Leech, as you hear a big, just things are rolling around on the ground and making a noise.
You hear it vibrating on the floor.
That one's reserved for you later.
Oh, no. It'd be more like a jackhammer, bro. No.
He doesn't half-ass anything. He whole-asses everything.
That's what I'm saying, full ass.
And then I'll open my door and let you in.
All right.
I'll step in. I'll just kind of look at all. It'll be that moment where I want to look at the things, but I immediately like turn my head like forcibly, like, no, don't look. Whatever it is, just don't look. And I'll look at you and be like, I figured I'd come and ask. You know, the other day I noticed when talking to the diadem guy, it just seemed more like.
Oh, you mean the day I died?
The day you died, yeah. That day.
Yeah. Good day.
Yeah. Just kind of seemed more like you wanted to jump on the grenade versus try to find another way out. I just see what's up.
It's not a matter of jumping on the grenade. I was trying to call his bluff, and he called it quite well.
Yeah, he did.
I kind of thought I was more important, but if they don't see me as an incredible need to really find him, then Jacob, that is, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out ways to protect him.
I get that.
Whether that means I'm here or not.
Well, I'm gonna kind of come over and just kind of grab you by the upper part of your shoulder and just be like, look, dude. Regardless of what those stupid files say, you're important to us.
I know.
And
In
whatever the
field.
bullshit that's gonna happen, you need to keep going.
Outside of you guys, he's the only family I care to have, and he saved me more times than I can count growing up, and with Lawrence, he sacrificed so much that I just don't want him to put him in danger. You know, it'd be like if the only diadem could get to ashes by, you know, putting a tracer in Tex's ass. If that's how I feel, and I feel like they're tracking my every movement, and I just don't want them to lead him back to my brother. I want him to succeed in what he's doing.
I get that. I just, I don't know. Hearing you the other day, I was kind of like, all right, I gotta make sure all of us are on the same page. And the way I think we should deal with this is, instead of leading him back to your brother, is fight asymmetrically. If your brother's doing one thing, we do the opposite. He keeps doing the kid thing. We need to figure out some other way to destabilize their entire organization.
Leech, I promise I'm not trying to be difficult. I just, yeah, I die for any of you, but I die for him first. And then I'll reluctantly lift my blanket and reveal my shotgun that lays next to my pillow. And it's just been a thought that's been plaguing me for the last few days. So.
If you need to talk, I'm here. If you need a shot to sleep, let me know. But
yeah, well, I'm trying to channel this passion with explosions, and I've started learning this new tinker and stuff, and I'll show you my shotgun, and I'll show you it is so the button that is now placed where the stock of the shotgun meets the metal.
mm-hmm.
Since it's a pump shotgun, where you wouldn't see it like the hammers on a double barrel or anything like that, that's basically where it's at. And I filed and sanded this piece of metal to almost look like just a shining red ruby. I mean, of course it isn't, but it's meant to just give that effect because it needed a little flare. And
I get that.
so this is what I've been working on, and just don't touch it, for God's sakes, don't touch it. But it's still a little sensitive. But if it does what I think I'm planning it to do, I'm gonna be able to do a lot more hurt.
Good.
And I got to do it to all my things, and I'm trying to see if I can make it work on explosives, and if I can do that, oh my. I don't know if you heard, but I got white phosphorus rounds today, and that's also next to my pillow, but that's for a much more selfish reason.
All right. Well, just make sure the hurty part of the gun doesn't go towards you.
I'm going to rethink that on a much more serious note. I know you guys need me, and I know Jacob needs me alive. So, plus I also got this new data pad thing from the guild or the wizards or whatever we're gonna call them, but it still needs to charge. I gotta figure out what I'm supposed to do with his batteries.
Just buy more. Not that expensive.
It's some old battery, man. It says, quadruple A. I don't know.
From the
Might be shit out of luck
Aztec
there.
some element known as lithium. I don't know. It's so strange. So.
No, it's normal battery cells. The normal cells.
Oh,
So.
okay.
I think they're like 2 a piece, 2 credits a piece. They're not expensive. You just every time you want to use it, you need to start loading new batteries in.
Yeah.
You have a bag of fucking batteries, like motherfucker.
I know. There's the explosive bag. There's the battery bag. There's the ammo pouch.
Jingle jangle.
I'm a barbarian with a haversack, man. It's
That's right.
just everywhere.
That's what it is.
I feel ya. I got a backpack, a med bag, my hacking gear, all of my magazines. I feel ya. I carry way too much shit as is. But I just want to check on you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. You get some sleep.
I will. Gotta get naked first. So.
All right. You have fun playing with yourself. I'm gonna go get some sleep.
As soon as you hear the door close, I'll be like, "Oh, phosphorus."
It's unhealthy. It's weird. Maybe your psychoval was wrong. All right. Unless anybody has anything else, then the night comes.
Before I head to bed, I'd actually. It's possible to get back to the Zayok from Umbilicus. Okay, because I know we had to kind of jump a bit.
Gotta do a spacewalk, but yeah.
I would go back and stow Red Jack in my bunk.
You're like, it's not even going to be at the meeting. Oh, okay. Gotcha, okay. You can jump on there and you can see on there is 5, Ash, Zin, and that's it. And they just kind of, when you get on there, 5's like, am I supposed to follow you the fuck around or something stupid? Or am I cool here?
You're good. Don't worry. You're good.
You're putting a lot of trust in me.
Well, I would show him. I would just point at Red Jack and said, I have insurance.
He shakes his head. Fair enough. With that, he goes back to making a modest dinner for him and his wife, and she waves at you, and you see Ash as she's like, you guys good in there?
Yeah.
Cool. She's like, here. She hands you a data stick. Says, get that back to Tex when you can.
Okay.
Cool. She lets you depart.
Okay.
Okay. About 45 minutes later, yeah, you get back to where you're going.
Sleepy time.
It's fair.
All right. Night comes and goes. Few of you, Tex, you're in your room. You get a reply back from that number. It just says, LOL, comma, that's not the way it works. ... A few seconds later, it types in another response and enters it into the thing. He says, well, the librarian was not lying. They are exactly what you think they are. The one named Dragon is an actual fucking dragon. He says, the one that is a Medusa, well, she's the only nice one out of all of them. The rest of them are elusive and usually don't like being talked to.
Just another one of those they find you people. God damn it, why can't someone just fucking like answer a phone call nowadays?
He does give you names. He says if you want to look for them, I can give you names. It won't help, but you're more than welcome to have the name.
Any knowledge is useful.
All right. So, he looks at you, and the Medusa's name is Chris. Chris Malice. The dragon is named Ohm. The Aboleth just goes by the name The Beginning.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The Norn is
At
known
least
as
it's not the end.
the Norn is known as Raven Queen or Queen Raven,
Oh no.
and the Jinn is known as Abdal.
Oh, at least it's not the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I wish it was them though. That would have been funny as fuck.
they were pretty low in the thing.
I'm so
The-
glad
the
I
Jin-
remembered.
It's been a long
The
time, man.
the Jinn and the
But-
Jan were actually
Yeah.
they were mythical creatures, but they're in the hierarchy. They're not very high. They're just when they come, it's like oh shit. It's like god damn it, these fuckers are here. Some shit's about to go down. But yeah.
Okay.
He's like, good luck. And that's, unless you have anything else, that's the night. Morning comes the next day, and you have a breakfast date with Dimitri. Like he promised, as you make your way, get ready, the lot of you eventually meeting outside the hotel. Take the lifts down and around to the A habitat, winding through the hustle and bustle of morning traffic to get to ships, if they haven't already been up. The smells of basically every kind of griddle food you can imagine just wafting past you. Mixed with a nice healthy amount of hydraulic fuel and like oil, but it's kind of a gross mix. Eventually though, you make your way down towards the A docks, and sure as shit, there is one yacht parked in a very nice spot, and outside you see a very familiar small little business-clad Russian girl, this time in a nice red pantsuit. She has what looks to be a gun holster girdle up top with 2 top side pistols, like you saw her last time, and a data pad. And she walks up and waves at you. You can see the white of his very gaudy yacht kind of just glimmers in this weird lighting of Tarzmeat Station. But she approaches you again, and she's like, greetings for the meeting today, yes?
Yep.
Excellent. Follow me. She stops, turns, and looks at Wolf, and then walks around behind
Don't
you. She's like,
Nope, don't even ask. Don't worry.
she's like, for my own safety, thank you. She's like, he was very mad for multiple days.
I am so sorry.
With
Alright,
that, it's not hard. You guys make your way up past the guards once again. Same 2 guys. Entering the same very familiar room once more, and if you do see this, this time there's a small like stainless steel like push cart with a buffet of different meats and vegetables that are grilled and put together, as well as a small little coffee section, some pancakes, things like that. And sitting at a table in a very incredibly gaudy robe with his awesome 1980s circa hamburger meat chest hair popping out is a very groggy, and you can smell the vodka coming off of him still, Dimitri. He's like, come, sit, friends. We must do business quickly. So, what do you have for Dimitri today? Please, make yourselves plates. You can see there is a bottle of vodka in front of him.
Orange juice?
He just...
I'm going to grab all the meats, and then I'm going to pour myself a shot of vodka.
What a brilliant breakfast. Yeah, you get in there, sit down with your plate of meats, pour yourself that shot. A lot of you filter in whatever you're doing. You make your time, grab your food if you're doing, otherwise you sit down, and he simply says, okay, so here is how this happened. In about 4 hours I have my 2 trucks come. Each has PDC with ammunition, as well as several containers of torpedoes. He's like, here is mission. He throws a data pad on the table. He's like, if you have questions, figure it out. I can't provide any help. I have to be in Novus for the next 2 weeks. He's like, you can see he's on the verge of vomiting. He's just like, ooh. He's like, rough night. He's like, I believe I am to take container and a few other items, and then we be on our way, yeah?
Yep. Do you have that full body prosthetic for us?
It's in containers with torpedoes, no problem.
Awesome.
He's like, why such out of place? This place is disgusting. Ugh. He's like,
They give us
choking
free
down on
coolant.
it. Free is my favorite flavor. Okay, no problem.
Do you guys need to get topped off? I'm sure we can totally have that arranged.
That would be very nice of you. And he speaks basically Space Russian to his lady again, and is like, hey, get the free coolant from them. That sounds good.
I would,
Yeah, you understand it, Wolf. But,
no, I would ask. Dimitri, is Lupita still your tailor?
Lupita, I know, yes. She does good cuts, yes.
May I have her contact info?
Shopping for suits, you must go to Novus. Well, unless you have much money and you can bring her out. She desires dinners and nice fancy things, so you must take her somewhere nice. But yes, I give you contact info. You tell her I sent you, she give me discount next time. You get a little ping on your seed.
Awesome.
Don't go tossing that out to everyone though. And I would not suggest you do something silly like give it to a friend that is not in his room. She might. She
You
might.
sound like you described Edna. It's like.
She is.
Yes.
Edna mode. But with that, yeah, Dimitri's kind of like, unless you have anything else for me, I might have to vomit quickly.
Now we're good, friend.
All right, take
Are you
food.
guys gonna come around the side and pick up the can, or do you want us to fly it in with our
He's like,
hauler?
I have people take care of it, no problem. Just make sure you
All
just
right.
disconnect from yours, and we take.
Perfect.
He's like, well, and he takes up a glass. He's like, yeah. Just takes the shot and slams it on the table. And he's like, ugh.
I'll take my shot.
Yeah, where's his con save? I want to see if he keeps it up.
He's Russian. He's got a national immunity. It's
Oh, okay.
racial ability.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you weren't born into the family though. It's not a racial.
I'll pick up the data pad for the mission.
Okay. It's a very simple mission. They need you to go fuck some shit up and cause enough distraction that they can move in and steal something. They need a 5-minute window where all eyes are looking at you. There is a station noted there. It is a corporate security station. Actually, it's a data hub for a corporate security place.
Oh no.
They
awesome.
need to basically have a 5-minute window where they can go in, do whatever it is they're going to do, which it's not really detailed there, but you can make some assumptions based off of just who it is. And yeah, from that, it basically is like, yeah, that's what you need. The torpedoes are there so you can do your work. We have no intel on there, but we need it done in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
It says, good luck, don't die. There's a location and things like that. But it just says, I expect you to... I'm reading in... You're not reading in Dimitri's voice. I'm saying it in Dimitri's voice. You get basically... Dimitri said, you do what you do, make it good, explode things, don't die, so we can do more work, yeah? So...
Works for me.
basically what you get out of that.
Cool.
Mhm.
Finish my breakfast and look at everybody like, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
You know, in 4 days after the fabricator's made.
I know.
The company that he is stealing from or having you assault is a company called Zufang International.
Oh.
They are a weapons dealer.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah,
That's
especially with
true.
that.
Free schematics.
No. Okay.
Oh, right. I need to write that down because I just was doing random pick. Zhu Fang ZF International. The Silencer Company.
Yeah, the
See, the
silencer
weapons
company.
dealers are like drug dealers, right? Where they don't do their own supply, so they just don't have guns, right? That's
Well, you know, there's only one way to find out. I'd like to see you to go roll them dice. You know what can happen? Big dick or nothing. Who knows?
Alright, let's see. I'll go grab my mental ones.
So unless you guys have anything else specifically you'd like to do, you can get the fabricator made in 4 days' time. Not a problem.
Okay.
Do we want to hire her?
I would want to talk to her.
Okay. That's
I'll
easy.
have a quick
Some,
sit down.
sometime within the next 4 days, whoever wants to be at the meeting is at the meeting. Where do you guys want to have it?
Some bar or food place?
Sure,
Somewhere
at a
little bit
bar.
nicer?
At a decent, the nicest bar here is like a 2-star or maybe a 1-star restaurant. So
Okay, then there.
you go there. They sell steak-ish stuff. What could go wrong, right?
Perfect.
Baby back ribs.
Okay, but you sit down. We'll say this is 2 days in, so you got 2 more days. So she comes into the meeting, is cleaned up as nice as possible, hair pulled back in a ponytail, in that braid still, and she sits down.
Real quick, one thing I meant to ask earlier is at some point during those 2 days, I would have had her send a resume and had Ash check it out.
It looks like it was done not professionally. There's some holes in it, but it looks real good to you. All the things look important, and she can verify. Yeah, I can look up the the numbers, and she's a welding certified, ship's mechanic certified, all these other. Everything seems to check out.
Cool. That's what I was checking for.
But yeah, so she comes. Whoever wants to be there with this meeting can be. But you guys sitting down to a dinner. She's like, "Well, thanks for looking at me. You guys come to an agreement to see if I'm the right fit for you guys."
Well, it's not necessarily if you're the right fit for us. It's more, do you want to be fit into our system? So I'm just going to kind of look at her and be like, all right, cut the bullshit. I'm not going to try to sell you on this because that'd make me an asshole. We are currently a group of wanted people that are mercenaries. We fly around the system. We do whatever job we need to get by as much as possible. We have a lot of enemies, but we usually have the firepower and the know-how to survive it. That's what you're looking at. If you want to put your life out on the line, we could always use another engineer. If you're not, I don't blame you. I don't want to get you involved too deep before you have the opportunity to say, yeah, this ain't my cup of tea.
You see, she kind of has a worried look on her face for a second, and she's like, "Is this a test? I knew who you guys were. You came in and liberated this place. Hell, that's why I wanted to sign up. You guys are awesome. You guys are legends around here. I know people are gunning for you. You just fucked up a whole space pirate fleet, for fuck's sakes. I'm down. I want off this fucking shitty rock."
Okay. What kind of pay are you looking at?
She's like, "Well, as long as you can keep me comfortable, fed, stuff like that." She's like, she gives you a flat rate, which is basically she wants to have her comfortable life, or not comfortable, but modest lifestyle. So 2 gold pieces.
That's easy. Okay.
I think it's a week, right? It's 2 a week for lifestyle.
2 a week. Yeah.
Oh no, I clicked the wrong button. Damn it. Damn it! Roll 20 game.
Well, our ship would maintain most of that anyway. Just from our daily supplies. It'd just be whenever we up.
It would just be when you redo that, you just have to add another mouse to feed. That's about it.
Yep.
So for lifestyle.
So glad I did the numbers on 10 people.
Yeah. So in one session we're looking at adding 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Modest. So yeah, 1 gold piece a day. Or no, one gold piece a day. So 30 gold pieces a month. Or credits, obviously. So 30 a month times 12. So 360 a year. So 360 gold pieces a year is what you're looking at.
I'm back.
Easy.
And that'll keep her up and going. And she just asks, hey, if there's any extra hazard pay or anything like that, send it my way. Most of this is going to be an actual resume builder. It's going to be one of those things she can say, yeah, I flew on a crew. She's like, I don't want to be a asteroid engineer anymore. I want to be a ship engineer. Just the ability to go out and port and see different places. Hell, shoot other places. Sounds fine to me.
Just out of curiosity, do you have any experience in robotics?
I've fixed robots before, but I've never really dabbled too hard. Why?
Interested.
I'm always willing to learn a new skill.
Alright. Me too. We'll learn together.
She's like, so does that mean I got the job?
You're right. Grab your shit.
She ecstatically jumps into the air and she's like, woohoo! She's like screaming and she composes herself quickly.
I'm off this fucking rock. Woo!
Yeah. She's like, fuck you, Steve, I'm out of here!
Gary, you still owe
Before
me that
she
fucking
runs off.
10 gold.
And she's like, awesome, I can be down at the ship tomorrow morning. Get my stuff and I'll head on down.
I'll extend my hand and I'll be like, I'm Leech.
She's like, Marissa Forrest.
Marissa. Okay.
Did we mention that
section.
we get killed?
I tried to sell it.
Hey, she digs that outlaw life, man. You never know.
Cool.
Adrenaline junkie. Perfect.
This is another moment where I wish you were a weeb, John, because now I have the idea of the perfect engineer that she is.
Who is it?
I forget her name, the pink-haired chick from My Hero.
If it's not
Oh.
Kaylee from Firefly, she's not the perfect engineer, hands down. So.
Oh, I don't know. That's the one he's talking about is very over the top, and very over the top can be very fun.
True. But anyway, so you hire her. 2 days later, you get the rest of the pieces of the fabricator, which she helps install for free, into the ship. She can do that on the fly. Doesn't need to be sitting there. And with that, your time at Tarsmeet Station could be at an end.
Did our stuff arrive from
Any,
Dimitri?
yeah, all your stuff got swapped out. So
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
yeah, he had enough guys there that they installed it for you. So
Oh, sweet.
Dang.
he had like a 40-guy crew come in and just like NASCAR pit stop that shit.
Nice.
That does mean though, since you have how many PDFs or yeah,
PDC.
PDC slots? How many do you have?
I thought we had 4.
You have 4. You also have 4 PDFs installed, or PDCs installed. So which 2 are you taking out? Which 2 are you putting up? Or are you using the medium mounts and putting more PDCs on there? Because you could. It just is, you could fit a bigger gun there if you wanted.
I'm trying to find our slot thingy. Hang on.
That's all we have for the moment. So I mean, I would say.
Well, while you figure that out and do that, Phoenix looks at you guys. What's our next destination?
Let's go meet HP.
He's like, Ash, calls for her. Let's go do a meeting with your boss. She nods and she's like, all right. Punches in the coordinates. Looks at the operator box. Punches, opens a window with that. Punches in a code. Get a response. You can see the response on the screen. She's like, all right. Take us about 3 days to get there. Currently on their vector and speed and stuff to intercept, and then we'll be good to go.
Okay, so we had 2 torpedo tubes which are loaded. We had our experimental rail slot which is loaded, 4 PDC slots which are now loaded, our 2 deployable countermeasure slots which are now loaded, and then we had 2 medium weapon mounts which were don't we have missile pods there?
Yeah, missile pods. Yep.
Yep. So all our slots are now loaded for our ship.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, with that said, coordinates punched in to the HP Weaver ship out in space currently broadcasting that you are going to intercept. You have a destination. My question to you guys is, are we going to keep going, or is this a good place to stop?
I'm good to keep going if everybody else is.
How about
I'd
you,
go
Griffin?
I'm down either way.
Cool. I'm good.
Okay. So, with that, you guys punch off. It's a 4-day, or what did I say, 2-day trip? 3-day? 3-day trip?
3-day trip.
It's a 3-day trip through the black, pretty much turning and burning at different angles, catching and re-vectoring yourself with them. But you are much, much faster than a full-blown, like, Weaver cruiser jacked to the hilt with comms equipment. They usually are not known for their speed, but usually known for their ability to see you before speed needs to be an issue. With that said, is there anything specific that you guys would like to handle during those 3 days of downtime? Or go ahead.
I'd be doing similar to what we were. What was it? We did 7 days. What was that trip?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because we went to a station or something that took us a week to get there. A couple sessions.
Well, that was
back.
when we were in the black, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be doing something similar to that, and I would be trying to get my cooking skills better and better, even with the sloppy MREs that we had.
Sure. Just go ahead and you know what the rolls to make. Go ahead and make them and add that towards your total of proficiency. And then subtract that much from the food supplies you guys have. And you'll be good to go.
Okay.
So
And I've been working on repairing the abacus, or what the fuck it's called.
the abacus, okay, you can now count things in the hundreds
What else?
very easily.
Fucking
Ridiculous.
Umbilicus.
What if?
Think-
Umbilicus. There you go.
Think umbilical cord, because it's exactly what it is. It's an umbilical cord for a spaceship. I love it.
Yeah, I'm working on repairing
I'm gonna
that.
fix the abacus. Fucking country as fuck.
Uh,
Got that there
once
abacus.
we're- I'm gonna be adding red buttons to my weapons.
You do whatever you need to do. Subtract any funds you guys spend. Do your rolls in the back. Don't need to make them on stream, whatever. Just make sure everything gets shown to me and you're good to go. After that, 3 days pass, and about 2 hours before you guys get there, you can see Ash is kind of nervous. Just has a weird vibe. She's kind of sitting
I'd
in
ask her
there.
why.
She's like, come approach her. She's sitting there drinking coffee. She's just kind of like, it's been a long time since I've even been on a Weaver ship. She's like, kind of weird. She's like, and this is really huge, all these things that have gone down and happened. She's like, I'm not quite sure what to make of any of it, man. She's like,
So,
I'm just
like,
nervous.
How high are you? Because like they were saying that you're like head and shoulders above the rest of these folks. So like, how are you still low on the totem pole, even though you're so much better?
She's like, I don't know where they're getting their information from. I'm a mid-level operative. She's like, you know the ranks. She's like, you know my rank. I'm not a council member. I'm just a run-of-the-mill operator. She's like, or handler technically. You guys are operators. She's a handler. But she's like I know I'm good with computers, but I didn't think I was better than anybody here. She's like, I rely on them as much as anything else. She's like, shrugs, kind of looks at you. She's like, I don't know. Just don't know.
As do standard physical comfort things. You know, give her a hug, maybe a little rub,
Gotcha.
so on and so forth.
That kind of stuff is displayed, and you can see it calms her down a slight bit, but that nervousness still remains, even with a little bit of reassurance. But for the most part, she just seems a little jittery. You can see, eventually, in the next hour and 15 minutes, popping up on screen at the 10,000 mile mark is a ship. Very large ship. When she was saying, oh, this is a cruiser or something, that's being very modest. This is almost like battleship style hugeness. There are massive antenna arrays that project from each direction, almost making it look like a star, like we'd put on top of a Christmas tree ornament or something like that. Kind of protrudes.
How off the grid are we?
You are not in any lane that anybody travels on.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
I just
you are
wanted to be sure.
nowhere near one. You're actually like thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away from even being within beacon range of a long-range scanner of a fucking hyperlane. So these guys are trailblazing hard. They're out where people shouldn't be, but somehow they're still broadcasting. Their comms are that good. But you do get a encrypted ping from them. Ash walks up to the thing, and if anybody's looking over her shoulder, you can see she challenge and password, puts in a password. It comes back approved. Docking bay at your leisure. And Phoenix takes her in. Flies the ship close, and you can see a small bay door open, large enough to fit like 4, maybe 6 Corvettes in. It's like a large hangar bay on the back. It just kind of opens up. You can see there are 2 smaller Weaver ships inside there currently, as well as a few smaller craft, like personal kind of stuff like that. But for the most part, there is a berth where you can do it. Now this ship, on the inside, you'd expect to see normal, metallic pipes and platings and stuff like this. But this thing is covered with electronics, wall to wall. There's all sorts of shit. It seems a little bit mismatched, but each thing looks like it has its place. It just doesn't look very organized. Something you kind of, if you could imagine a hacker's room but in spaceship form, this is pretty much what you're seeing. The
Oh my god, there's code red everywhere.
code red everywhere. Piss bottles is disgusting. Smells like BO. No, it's not that bad. Inside, you can see what looks to be like 4 or 5, looks like university kids. They got like shorts on and tank tops, flip-flops. Just kind of greasy hair. Fucking one of them's got full cybernetic arms and a cybernetic face piece. The other one you can see is mostly skin-colored cybernetics, but a lot of it is replaced. Those two just kind of wait as you guys slide in and dock. It's funny, you don't get any weapon pings at all from this ship. Not a one. Usually there's, weapon systems are trained and you can, there's targeting systems on us, but none of them are active kind of thing. You get that often, just to let you know, hey, people are looking at you. But you don't get any of that here. None of it seems to display on your heads up or anything like that.
Interesting.
So who's exiting the ship?
All of us, I think.
I would.
Okay, I'll step out first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ash is coming. All of you guys, and then all your newbies are staying on the ship.
Yep.
I would suggest Phoenix stay on the ship too.
Okay. She, as you guys suggest that, and he's getting ready to stay, she's like, they're gonna want to talk to him eventually, so She's like, we shouldn't have anything to worry about. He should be able to come with us.
Oh,
He's like,
Fair enough.
if you
Yes, make sure no one steals our ship.
understood. The AIs go into a lockdown mode, and you can see Mark looks at you, Wolf, and he's like, what's my rules of engagement if anyone tries to get on here that's not you guys?
Shoot to kill. Ask questions later.
He looks at Zen, he's like, prep the med bay just in case, but roger that. And you see he sets a few magazines on a little bench there, gets ready for whatever might happen. The landing bay door, as you open it up, walk down, you can see those two individuals. They're like, hey Ash, how's it going? You can hear him speaking in kind of a broken version of common, kind of like super slangy. Some of the terms they're using you pick up on quickly, Leech, with your freediverness background. And you can actually see a lot of the gear they're wearing are probably freediver style cybernetics that just enhance their ability to do whatever it is they do. And the two of them kind of meet Ash. She like, hey guys, and just kind of comes up, gives them both like a kind of a side hug like that. And she's like, this is my team. They're like, yeah, we've heard a lot about them. They're real movers and shakers. They kind of have this kind of like laid back, almost stoned kind of surfer vibe. Oh my god, that was way loud. Jesus.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Just so
All
like
of our cams
yeah.
dropped, by the way.
So every time the cams cycle and yours comes back, I have to remute you. So it's like if yours cycles back and I'm not ready for it, it's like full blown volume. I'm like, oh yeah, oh my god, my ear holes. Ah.
You don't want to hear more of me? I thought that's what everybody wanted.
No, it's not. It's not that I don't want to hear you. It's just that it's very loud. That's all it is. But stepping off this thing, you can see now too. There's definitely defense systems inside. Small arms turrets in corners next to cameras and things like that. You can actually see there's several drones, just little race car like looking drones just zipping across the ground. A couple floaters throughout the air. And they're doing things. They interact with a few electronic bits and bobs here and there. A few of them fly around your ship to make sure things are good. And you can see one of them extends a small little arm to make sure things are locked down, like outside hatches and doors and things like that. But none of it seems hostile or with any ill intent, as far as you can tell.
I'm just gonna look at him and be like, where the fuck do I get one of those? Mine's just got a camera on it.
Oh, we can build them, man. It's not a problem. Shit's easy, bro.
Can I get one?
Sure, man. You got something cool to trade?
I'm sure we can work something out later.
Righteous. You get this like, what the fuck is this guy on? He definitely, as you get closer to him, you can smell him too. Yeah, he's definitely partaking in the herb at least. But with that, you can see she goes, so I'm sure the council wants to see us. And they're like, yeah, they're up this way. Shit's been prepped for like a couple days. It's been pretty tight, man. It's not often we get operatives out here. It's not often we get handlers out here. It's like, fuck, the last person who came here was Blue, and he's a fucking... well, he brings good drugs. So they get a little side eye from her. She's like, well, why don't you lead me to the council then? And you can hear a ping from the seed from her to you guys, like, these guys are odd. But you start walking through the ship. A lot of it is set up as just makeshift living quarters. There's a lot of hydroponics, things like that, to kind of scrub the air and things like that. But a lot of it's integrated into the ship rather than having huge oxygen scrubbers and things like that. It seems like there's quite a bit of just greenery everywhere you go. It kind of livens up the place, not too bad. But you make your way through some snaking corridors, up some things. You can count a couple. There's a few there. You can make your way up these stairs and stuff, and they take you to a lift. Inside the lift, it's just, and also throughout this place, there's all sorts of just like pop culture-y stickers and all sorts of stupid shit stuck on everything. Band logos, videos, movies, animation, stuff like that. Anything that has a logo or merchandise, there's probably a sticker or a mural of it somewhere. A lot of spray paint, a lot of art, things like that, kind of just up and down these walls. Then you get into the elevator where there's plenty more of that, and there is a decorated plate with, pops up with a little display which floor you want to go to. You can see the display is well worn. You can actually see some wear marks in some of the buttons and things like that. Probably common decks that are used, mess, recreation, things like that. But there's one that's hardly touched. It looks brand new. It's in the back half of the ship, underneath where you guys are. So you're actually going to go down and deep back a little ways into what's called the crisis core of the ship, is what the button is. The two dudes press that and they're like, man, I haven't been here in like forever. They just giggle. As Ash is like, did they let you get as fucking retarded as you are right now all the time? They're like, hey man, we're just techs. We don't run any of the important stuff. And she's just like, okay. But as the door opens, it opens up in a completely different kind of ship. Very clean walls, absolutely sterile style environment. And as you get in here, it's red lit. It's not black light or anything, or normal light, or hydroponics glow, or anything like that. It is very, very much just interesting. Crisis style lighting, red, everything. There is what you can tell only as patrol bots or something like that in this hallway. Humanoid robots. One of their arms is a minigun. The other looks to be a wicked, retracting blade. Heavily armored. They have quite a bit of ammunition strapped to the side. So it looks like they're ready for a long haul. There's probably about 4 of them in this hallway that you can see that turn your direction as you enter. You said something, Wolf?
Yeah. During this whole thing, would I have recognized any of the posters as the ones similar to those that the 2 sisters from the Vatos had there, or
probably a few? And
would these robots perchance look anything like the ones that they had? Any similar style of modification or something like that?
Give me let's do a perception check. You can't really tell any similarities. They could be similar, but you're not a robot aficionado, and those kind of things don't really interest you as much to be able to tell that difference. Alright. Down this hallway, there's 4 doors into small rooms along the side. You can see one says barracks, across from it says armory, one says black corridor, one says red corridor, and then there is the continuing path heading straight, which those 2 dudes don't even get out with you guys. They just point forward, and as soon as you guys are all out of the thing, unless you say anything or do anything, the door's shut and they depart.
Walk
I
forward.
look at Ash.
She's
Do you know where to
just
go?
she just nods forward and continues walking. Continuing down, as soon as you guys make your way a little bit, you can see the robots turn and flank you. They give you a box formation around you guys and start escorting you towards, assumably, wherever this council is.
Nobody ask it to cleanse them.
That was a great day.
Yeah, that was.
You walk a good maybe 30, 40 feet until you get to a blast bulkhead door, similar colors as the rest of this. The robot in the front left turns and says, "Handler, enter authorization code." There's a small data pad that lights up red, and she inputs a code, puts her hand on there, and it says authorized. And the one on the right turns and says, "Operators, wait here."
Okay.
The door opens and Ash walks in, and she just gives you all a nod.
We're in her turf.
Mhm.
So, you sit and you wait. A couple minutes go by.
I'm gonna just look at these robots.
They
Are they
are,
like factory or like augmented?
if they came from a factory, you are unaware of what factory they came from without further inspecting them. Augmented is an understatement. These things look personalized to fucking kill an army. Military knowledge of you can see they alternate armor-piercing and explosive-tipped ammunition along their belts, which are exposed. They look like there's electronics going into the retractable blade. You'd have to say there's something to do, like this thing is like a taser sword or something. If you had to make a guess.
Okay. Do they have skin or do these guys look like
Full
T-1000s?
metal T-1000 robotic looking motherfuckers.
Got it.
They look like
Okay.
fucking Terminators straight up. So, a couple more minutes go by. And that continues for the first hour.
Or we just get stared down by the robots?
Yep.
I would ask him, so are you guys AI or...
They turn at you and they say, "We are defense drones."
So, are you defending us or are you defending someone from us?
We are defending the council from any threats.
Seems
Oh.
totally reasonable.
I'll take whatever weapons I have on me and just place them down if that's what they see as a threat.
is there like chairs about, or are we just out in like an open room?
You're just
or
in a
what?
fucking like a 10-foot by 10-foot hallway that leads from an elevator straight line. There were 4 branches that you passed, and that's it. Graded hard metal floor. You can see pipes and lighting underneath. Pipes and
Oh,
lighting on the floors. No
I'm
seats.
I'm
just
gonna be
putting
like-
my weapons on the floor. I'll just hand it to whatever robot. Be like, here.
They look at you and don't know what to do. They don't exactly have hands. One hand is a minigun, the other is a sword. So
I'm just gonna like look and be like, I'm just gonna post up in the corner. I'm just gonna like lay up against the wall and start flicking through whatever future Reddit is.
your signal strength is great here. It's like so fast.
I bet.
It's the best internet you've ever had in your life. Yeah, right.
I kind of reach for my tablet on my belt and kind of look at the robots for a second and just be like, I am reaching for my tablet and my vape. As I pull out my tablet and then I pull out my vape. And then I look at you guys and be like, oh, I wrote these the other day. Here you go. And then I'll just kind of disperse the program to you guys.
What are the programs?
That's the one that works with Paranoid, right?
Yes, these are the non-verbal communication programs. So they make it so we can talk instead of have to text to each other.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just remember, it takes up a slot in your seat.
Okay. You distribute
Saying
some
a lot of
programs. You can see the robots kind of look back and forth at you guys. Another couple minutes go by. An hour and a half goes by in total before any motion other than you guys sitting there. You're starting to get tired, annoyed, standing in the same place for an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes. You're like, what the fuck is taking so long? The door's open. It's not Ash, but it is an individual with what looks to be like some crazy fucking high-tech looking armor. Kind of like a fish dome, but very sleek, carbon finish kind of, or carbon fiber like finish and plating armor. The face has no visible way to see out of it, but you're assuming you've seen helmets like that have no eye holes or anything like that, or not open face that allow sight. They just have like displays on the inside of the visor kind of thing. Has one of these and what looks to be like a tactical SMG at his side, ammo pouches and things like that. And they look at you guys, and he looks at you guys. You can see him look at the robots, and he takes a little wrist pad, and you can see them go back to their position. And he's like, "Follow me." And he turns, walks you down a very dim lit corridor. It's a horseshoe shaped, which then leads down into another core. You can see Ash leaning against a wall there, just kind of nods at you guys. And before you get close, he just says, "No communication," pointing at her.
All right.
Moving forward, he leads you to a set of double doors where he walks up to, and you can see he has a small like fob like device on the backside of his data pad on his wrist, which he swipes in front, and the door opens. As you look inside, you can kind of see there's a room with a table, and at it there's a few individuals, a few people, an elderly woman and an elderly man, kind of have the lead seats there, and then there's a few business type looking folk, and then there's what looks to be a very, very out of place individual, just someone who's got a bathrobe or some shit on, like a robe.
So he's the guy to be scared of.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's
Got it.
He's the dude, right? Yeah.
At least he's wearing pants.
But as you walk in, you can see the guy who walked you in step 2 steps to the left, and take a low ready on his right on his SMG as he clicks a button, and the barrel extends a silencer over the front of it, and a laser sight turns on, and he just simply says, "No quick moves. Take seats."
I'll look at him. Do you mind if I take my rifle off my back to sit down?
He's like, "As long as it's not quick."
Do it slowly.
Do it slowly and lick your lips while you do it.
Yeah, exactly. Get in there nice and deep.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Fucking weirdos. Goddamn you.
I'll just sling my rifle on the back of the chair as I sit down.
I just get up to the council and I just start laying right like this. Just be like,
Oh my god.
just kidding. I don't do that. I said whatever. I'm hoping a chair is prepared.
There's chairs for all of you there, actually. So,
Awesome.
they all sit, or they all motion for you to sit, rather, and simply look at you all and say, "So, you are our operations team that assigned to young Miss McTavish. Tell us, what do we need to know?" This is our debrief of you, but we always start with allowing you to tell your side of the story. What do you think is important to the Helix protocol?
I'll look at all of you guys.
I'll be like, well, do we fill them in our files or?
I'd say we just go this step by step. Because I'm kind of like just kind of playing bongos on my helmet, sitting in my lap right now, and I'm gonna be like, all right.
You can see that's
So-
drawing the ire of literally everyone in the room. They are looking at you like, are you fucking retarded? Like, did you
Nervous
grow
habit.
you have a dick growing out of your head? We don't like this. This is weird.
We call him a unicorn.
You know something.
I guess I will just go step by step and explain all of the unpleasant bullshit we've encountered for the last month and a half since we rescued Ash.
Okay.
And I will go back I will backlog all the way to the point where we got the initial operator tablet or laptop, that bag, all that bullshit, and explain where we came to Blue, Ash, and so on and so forth to this current meeting. And I will be like, I have video files to back up everything.
Okay. Okay.
I would then I would fill him in on just the high notes because he wasn't present for the acquisition of 5. So I would just kind of hit the high points of that.
Okay. Are you omitting anything? Or are you being completely honest? I could make you tell me what you would tell me, but don't need to. It's fine. You could, if you really wanted to really tell me what you're going. Otherwise, it's going to come down to a dice roll. So it's your pick.
I think we're cool with dice roll.
Okay. I would like anyone who's explained anything to give me a persuasion check. You have advantage, and you can add 2 because you are not actually telling any lies. Well,
26!
fucking
Oh, no.
A nat 20 does all.
a nat 20 and a nat 1, but advantage gives you at least a 5. So it seems Anders has a good handle on the lot of this.
You just get up at the end and try to like spit out your story, and then you just feel overwhelmed by his and sit back down in your chair.
Yeah, I actually like that. You go to like, and then we did this, and this was the thing, and they're just like, okay. But you can see they don't seem
My story's important too.
too impressed. With that, you can see they're all looking at each other. You can see, sure, this, that, the other thing. They're probably talking in seed. You guys would do the same thing. You even instinctually have if you can see the person, it's like, well, if I look at them, it beams it faster, or it's just polite to do that sometimes. Yeah. You know, it's just force of habit unless it's like in the midst of battle or something. But with that, you see a couple of them. One of them addresses one of the older one, the old woman. She says, "Haploid, do you have anything for these individuals that you wish to know?" He says, "Your involvement with this dynasty, corporation, cell, diadem, whatever they're called. What is your intentions with them? I know the handler said you wish to pursue an elimination stratagem. Is that truly your goal?"
Well, they don't seem to want to be reasoned with unless we join their fold. And that includes some of us going into immediate slavery, some of us giving up loved ones. So yeah, we're going to just kill them all. That's kind of our plan so far.
Or at least make it so costly that they leave us alone.
That true. That too.
Excellent. He says, "Adenine, that's all I had to know. I wanted to know their true intentions." She looks, and she simply looks at you, and she's like, "You wish to ruin this old, well-established, well-funded, well-understood enemy of ours. And what do you propose you have that all the others who have tried the same thing does not have? What is your unique spark that'll allow you to succeed where others have failed.
I mean, we already got 4 names. That's pretty good.
She kind of chuckles. Names. Okay.
We have a driving force behind us, and that's simply the will to live. And we want those that are important to us also to live. And we have some of the tools, some of the skills, and a little bit of the know-how to hopefully not die.
We have a particular set of skills.
A particular set.
I'm just gonna stoically walk up and be like,
Slowly.
stoically.
Are you getting up out of your seat and walking towards one of them? Is that what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
You can see the guy in the back kind of rack around it, and he's like, "Stay seated."
I'll stop moving. I won't sit, but I'll stop moving.
He continues to press forward, but continue.
I will be like, we are men who move mountains. We have laid a mountain before us, and we have moved one. We have laid other mountains in front of us and moved those as well. What we do is for not only ourselves, but for the others around us as well.
You can see the lot of everybody at the table turns and looks at the dude in the bathrobe.
In what?
In the robe.
The bathrobe.
Okay.
And you couldn't really see his face. He's very hunched back. The robe pierces forward, kind of obscures any facial features or hand features. In fact, you can see only in the smallest glimpses he moves his things back, or they move their arm back, that he's wearing gloves. You hear a kind of raspy laugh come out from the bottom of that, the deep inside of that cloak. You see one of the younger business-looking individuals kind of go, "Telomere, is that..." You see him just hold his hand up. And he kind of, without looking at you, just says, "Child, where did you hear that phrase?"
It's a phrase that I've recently learned. I've heard it once or twice before, but it's a phrase that I've learned means more to me than I never thought before. I've been expanding my horizons, reading a few new books, and learning family members' driving forces.
I heard that a long time ago as well. Do you live by this credos? That you are meant to move mountains?
We are learning to live by this creed.
The figure turns its head slightly, kind of looking towards you guys, but not fully, just kind of creaks it so it gives you the acknowledgement that it's looking to speak with you. And it just says, "Is this truly all of your credos, or just this one brave fool's?"
I would say yes.
I'd say we're movers and shakers, but yeah.
Fair enough. They have my weighted votes. And you can see the rest of the council are like, "Good enough for us. You're clear. You're clear to operate." And he simply says, "Bring the handler back in, and then clear the room."
Is his face obscured?
Yep,
Or...
can't see anything.
Okay.
It's there, and you can tell it's a face under there, but it's, he's wearing it specifically to be spooky and crazy. You can see the rest of the council get up and leave. And he even says, "You as well, faithful servant." As you wish.
Come on.
Yes.
Would I be able to notice anything because of my eyes? Because of my night eyes?
With your night eyes, give me a perception check. I'll allow it.
I'm not good at those, you know that. Why am I not good at perception?
You don't-
+6 modifier. Jesus Christ.
You don't make out anything like super clear, but you do make out one detail. One small detail. Something like he's got a breathing tube, maybe?
Okay.
He's got some sort of device attached to his throat. It looks like. This is going to be great. The rest of the council leave the room. Ash walks in, and he moves his hand, and you can see sliding back the robe. The gloves go up a good portion of the forearm, kind of wrapping the skin. And in fact, there are medical bandages underneath there, kind of wrapping the individual. And he says, Miss McTavish, I believe you found a very unique crew with a very unique outlook and a very interesting credos to follow. One that I know will win. You may take your team and strike at the heart of Diadem. Just be certain that when you twist the knife, you kill them. Do not allow them to squeak by. Is that clear? She looks at you guys. She's like, I don't know what you said, but that's our plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yes, Telomere, I will make sure that happens. Absolutely. Without fail. We will destroy these motherfuckers. If not for what they did to my techs, but for what they did to everyone's families. He nods. And he says, then you have the full backing of Helix Protocol.
You're cutting out.
I know. He's very quiet, and it's hard for me to speak that quiet. He says, you have the full backing of Helix Protocol. I could, like, fuck with the sensitivity on my mic, but then you're going to hear me... like, it's going to be fucking mad Darth Vader up in this bitch. Way to kill a tense moment, you son of a bitch. No, it's good. But he says, then... I... believe... you have what you need. Miss McTavish, if there's anything the council can do for you with our incredible assets, let us know. She's like, yes, sir. You hear a deep chuckle come from underneath there. I am no sir. But thank you. The figure then stands. And as it does, you can kind of see its form, and it betrays how small it looked sitting in the seat. It stands 7, 8 feet tall almost. This thing is huge, but lithe. And as you do, the robe kind of opens up and you can see 4 white, withered tentacles drop out
Hell yeah.
of the robe
Called it.
as he turns and walks away.
Fuck you, Greg. That was a good call.
You are alone in the room, the council room now, with Ash looking at you guys turned back, like, just like makes this little like, what the fuck, face tentacles maneuver, like, on the thing. She just like to cede to you guys. Did you see that face tentacle thing? What the fuck was that?
Honey, nothing surprises me anymore at this point. Think they call that a Cthulhu?
Yeah, those aren't real, dumbass.
Magic
it
wasn't
is.
real a week ago either.
She's like,
Whatever.
regardless, the mythos says there's only one, not a. Like, he's not. Never mind. Fuck. she goes.
Yes.
She goes hard into nerd for a second, and then suddenly cuts
Awesome.
it off.
That's why I love her.
As he is leaving the room at the very end, you can hear him just say, "You may take your leave through the door you entered in."
Thanks.
Tip my hat.
Mhm. You make
The
your way
ultimate
back
tease
out.
for Nick. He hunts them down for campaigns, and now he has to work with them.
Yeah. God damn it.
Well, now better way to learn the inner workings of them. Now, who knew?
Greg was like, "It's the ash one." I was like, "Don't no," and I just said, "No." So cute.
That's not. Maybe it's still not the ash form. Maybe it's something with tentacles for a face. Maybe I'm double crossing you because I like that kind of stuff.
Just like you trying to trip me out with my fucking.
With
I
your.
don't think it's actually Date, but it's not Date. But if it is, I'm gonna fangirl.
But anyway, unless you guys want to do something else, that's all I got planned.
This is a good stopping point.
I thought you guys were gonna go to the Kethras, so that's where I had all my stuff
That's
planned.
next.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So that's built. Cool.
I would definitely ask her what they asked her.
We'll do that next time. That's a good
Okay.
starting point. It's a good jump off position to get her story of what she told and what they asked. Because she got grilled for an hour and a half. You guys got grilled for like 5 minutes. And fucking Ox said the one thing that I could think of that would be like, that'll throw him off. Like, they were gonna sit there and ask you, and you can even watch the stream. I was like, oh shit! I was clapping and stuff. I was like, god damn! I was like, he nailed that shit. Fucking get out of my head, Griffin, you son of a bitch. That was perfect. But yeah, so for all those who stuck around, Emmy, fucking Arkin 1123, I believe you came here from.
Yeah, he came from WJLG.
Yeah, thanks for sticking around. Everyone else who did this, or people who are watching on the blog later, or the vlog, whatever, the fucking YouTube thing that I put up every now and then, so you can watch this shit. VOD, there's the word. Thank you. Appreciate it. If you like what you saw, little bullshits down below. You can join the Discord, see all the garbage we speak.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. Tell your mother. It's
Tell
all
your
great.
mom.
It's great.
We're mom slayers.
Couldn't be easier. But with that, yeah, if you like what you saw, go ahead and hook us up. I will talk lore with you all day. I will talk D&D with you all day. It's all good.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So until then, I will see you guys all later. Adios and
До
peace.
свидания.